Hey guys, it's Murda here, and today I want to talk about starting a new Tarkov account, or if you're a new player and you're just coming in to Tarkov. In this video, the goal is to help you optimize your loadouts for the least amount of money that can get the job done, especially if you're coming in to Tarkov late in a wipe and you're going to be up against super armored chads and really good ammo and those types of things. So let's just get right into it. The first thing I want to talk about is what we can get from level one traders that can be effective when you're a low level. So this right here is a go-to, the SKS. It's chambered in 7.62. And you can actually, from the trader at level one, before you even have access to the flea market, because you can't get to the flea market until you're level 10, you can buy this PS ammo from Prapper. And I'm going to go ahead and switch the screen here so I can share this with you guys. But if you can go to tarkovarmory.com and you can get all the information on ammo, some information on weapons and armor, but I like to use the ammo chart here and I'll just show you. For the 7.62 by 3.9, where are we at here? No, not this one. This one. There we go. The PS ammo, if you see here, third down the list, has a penetration value of 32. So starting out, that is not terribly bad. Um, is it going to struggle against guys running around with slicks and Altons on? Yes, you're going to have to hit your shots and hit quite a few of them. Just for example, if you look down here on the side, up against like a Zook, a level 6 armor, PS ammo will take a minimum of 9 hits and an average of 9.9 and a maximum of 10 to down an opponent. And I'm guessing that is, it doesn't say here, but I'm pretty sure that is thorax hits. So you can see you're going to have to hit them a few times, but they are running level 6 armor. Now, if you look here at the Gen 4 Assault, which is a level 5 armor, um, this armor here will take you 8 shots. So it's a little less. But if you go down to, let's move this to, I want to show you this, a level 3 armor, let's say the Karasa. PS ammo, 2 shots. Now, that's a level 3 armor. So pretty much any level 3 armor, you're going to be pinning with this 32 penetration rating from this PS ammo, no problem. So this, when you're a new player, say starting out level 2, 3, you just got into the game, this can be a great ammo and a good budget weapon. Let me just switch back here for you. A good budget weapon for you to use. It's single fire, okay? So when you're a new level, an early level Tarkov player, you don't have the recoil control skill leveled up or anything like that. So anything fully auto is going to be a little bit hard to control. So single fire is going to really help you out for placing your shots and not blowing through ammo, because you're going to have a limited amount of resources and money to buy ammo and find ammo. So this is one gun and ammo that I think is a great starter weapon. And you don't need magazines for this SKS. You can just literally put a stack of PS ammo in your pocket or in your rig, and you can hit the reload hotkey and whatever you have that set at, I think it's defaulted at R, and you can literally top load your SKS that way. You don't have to buy extra mags. It's less that you have to carry on your person, so you have more space to pick up loot items you find in game. So that's one gun that I wanted to go over. You can also get, if you do want to go full auto, you can get a barter trade from Prapper for an AKM, which also can shoot the PS ammo as well. And you can get a AKS 74U, the mini AK, chambered in 5.45, and you can buy the T tracer ammo and the PS ammo from Prapor, and we can switch over and we can go over this real quick as well. I would like to show you guys this. Let's go here. So the PS ammo has a penetration rating of 25. If you see here, it's about a little over halfway down the list. And even against the level 3 armors, PS ammo will still take an average of about 4 shots. It's not going to be great. It's not going to be as effective as the PS ammo, but you'll have full auto if you're going to get into some close quarters combat. So that might be the option you want to go for. And what we'll do is we'll just switch right back here because I want to show this to you guys as well. Where are we at here? You can actually get, for a barter trade from level 1 Prapor, you can trade 2 cans of Tushonka for a 30 pack of BT ammo, which is a little bit better. We'll just go ahead and do our switching again here so you can see. BT ammo, penetration value of 37, and it averages 3 shots against level 3. It averages 7.7 shots against level 4. So this is going to be about like your PS ammo, maybe actually a little bit better, but you can't purchase it just yet. You have to do a barter trade for it. But BT ammo is relatively easy to find in raid on maps like Reserve, Customs sometimes. Even if you run into, say, Rashala and his guards on custom, a lot of times they'll have BT ammo in their AKs that they're running, so you could check that as well. So it might be a way for you to get BT ammo. Okay, moving on. I want to let's move to our next trader here, Peacekeeper. And let me go ahead and switch this back here. There we go. So, Peacekeeper, level 1. A couple of things here. You can get a MBSS backpack, which has a decent amount of storage space for a starting level player. And you can trade it for 1 hard drive. Wait, is it 1? Let's find out. Let's double check and make sure I haven't done this barter trade in forever. What is it here? It is, oh, that's the dog tag trade, sorry. 1 hard drive. That's what it is. Just to make sure. So that's something to think about. If you find a hard drive in raid and you get out with it, that is a backpack for you right there before you can use the flea market. Also, you can buy M855 ammo from Peacekeeper for 5.56, which will be like your M4 8R, the MDR chambered in 5.56. But if you're a low level, chances are you're probably going to be working with the 8R. So let's talk about the 8.55 ammo really quick, and we're going to switch over here to our Tarkov Armory, and we're going to talk about the M855 ammo right now for beginners. So right here you can see the M855 ammo, third down the list here, has a penetration rating of 30, so it's very similar to the penetration rating of the PS. It does a pretty decent amount of flesh damage for a rifle round. And as you can see here, against the Karasa or even like the Zook press armor level 3, the M855 is going to average 3 shots to kill. And if we're going to check like the Gen 4 Assault, which is a level 5 armor, it's going to average 14 shots to kill. And against the Zook, it's going to be somewhere around 14 as well. So against heavily geared players, you're going to struggle a little bit. But anything like let's check out a level 4 armor here as well. Let's go for like a trooper armor, which has a lot of durability. 8.55 is going to take an average of 8 shots, a minimum of 3. So you can still get the job done, but you're going to have to hit your shots against like anybody wearing, let's say, like a level 4 armor. Here, you're going to have to see even the 6v13 average of 6 shots. Okay, so let's move back here so I can move on and show you more information. So this ammo from Peacekeeper is going to be for If you find an 8R in raid, or we're going to move on and we'll talk about the 8R a little bit more when we move through the traders here. So we're going to go over to mechanic level 1, and the one thing I do want to show you guys for mechanic is, where'd it go here? This MK12, right? It's a gas block that you can put on M4s and 8Rs, and it eliminates the front iron sight that comes standard on the 8R that is always getting in the way when you try to mount a red dot or any kind of sight on your upper receiver of your 8R. So for 5,000 rubles roughly, level 1 mechanic, you can buy this gas block, replace it on your 8R or your M4, and now the front iron sight is no longer a problem for you if that is bothering you. That's just something I wanted to touch on for new players as well. Okay, and I think another thing for mechanic as well, for a VOG 17 grenade, if you find this fuse here in raid and you get out with one, you can trade him one fuse for a VOG 17 grenade, which is not a bad barter trade, and the VOG 17s are pretty effective in close quarters, so that's something to keep in mind as well. So let's go over here. Let's touch on therapist a bit, because for new players it's important to understand that especially after these recent patches with the heavy bleeds added to the game, therapist is going to be your best friend at level 1, because you can buy your meds from therapist, like painkillers, which are going to help you continue to run and move and flank if you do get shot up in your legs and your leg gets blacked out. Now, unfortunately, at therapist level 1, you cannot get a CMS kit from her, which will repair blacked out limbs. You will have to find those in raid, I'm pretty sure. I don't know of any trader that you can get a CMS kit from at level 1, but actually you can. You can get a CMS kit from Jaeger at level 1 for a barter trade of 3 nipper pliers. But you don't get Jaeger unlocked as a trader initially, and we'll talk about that as well. But let me back up. Let me not skip around too much here. Let's stick to therapist level 1. So a few items here that have come in clutch for me. Recently started a new account, and this new player struggle really opened my eyes to what it's like to start off at the beginning of a wipe fresh, and those types of things. And so I just want to be able to show you guys this so you can have an idea of what works and what doesn't. And some things might work better for you, so you just, you got to play around with it. But a few things to think about. If you find a can of this knockoff raid called Paid here, you can trade one can of that for a Salewa, which a Salewa kit, let's just open this up here so we can talk about it. It will stop light bleedings, and it will also stop heavy bleeds, but a heavy bleed, if you use this to stop a heavy bleed, it's going to use 150 HP resource out of your 400 total that you have. So it's going to use a big chunk of your Salewa right away. So if you get 2 heavy bleeds and you use this Salewa, that's 300 gone right there, and you're down to 100 left in your Salewa. So what I would recommend doing, even if you're going to bring a Salewa, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to bring a couple of these tourniquets here, which it'll stop a heavy bleed. It has one use, but they're very cheap. And also, she sells splints at level 1, which will fix breaks, which is important. You don't want to break on your arm trying to aim. You're going to be all wobbly. And you can pick up car kits, which also stop light bleedings, but they don't stop heavy bleedings. You can buy them, and you can do a barter trade for 2 duct tapes. So that's not a bad barter trade as well starting out. And like I said, you can get your painkillers from here as well. Another thing to think about, other than finding food and drink in raid when you're a new level, I know I ran into problems with running my PMC player back to back raids, having to buy this water and these crackers from therapists. Now, these crackers are a ton of money for something that only gives you 10 energy but takes away 5 of your hydration. So, what I would recommend, this is kind of a last resort, buying this water and these crackers from therapists if you need to. Um, she's got a few barter trades like for a Slickers, but why would you want to trade your Vita Juice for a Slickers when you could just drink your Vita Juice? Also, like a lunchbox, you could trade a syringe for a lunchbox, and the can of celery here, you can trade these matches and a cricket, which is not terrible. But just keep that in mind. Your best bet is probably going to be to find food items in raid when you're super low level. Use them in raid to keep your stamina and your hydration topped off. But you're also going to want to stash the good items like milk and like a squash or even a water or a aquamari. And you want to try to keep that in your stash so you don't have to spend all this money on these food items. So, okay, moving on. Let's talk about Ragman. So at level 1 Ragman, you can also trade 2 dog tags for an MBSS here. You can trade an Alianka for an army bag, which I would not recommend doing. If this is a found and raid Alianka, I would hold on to that until you can unlock the flea market if you think you're going to be relatively close within a day or so or a couple of hours, because you could sell this for a fortune on the flea market. So, I mean, if it's absolute necessity and this is all you got, I guess you have to do what you have to do. You can also buy the sling, which let me open this up and show you. You will have a limited amount of space. Like I said, 6 slots here, 2x3, but it will be better than nothing, and it's pretty cheap. So, and the only body armor you can get from Ragman at level 1 is you can do a barter trade for the 6B515, which is actually a rig and an armor in one that sits in your rig slot. You cannot wear an armor if you wear this. The rig is armored. It is a level 4 armor, and you can do a barter trade for this armor for 3 soaps, and 4 toilet papers, which is, it's not a bad barter trade starting out if you can find this stuff in raid. And a level 4 armor on a low level player starting out under 10 is very good. Or level 4 or more. If you can get your hands on level 4 armor before level 10, you definitely want to wear it. And if you can afford it, or you could barter trade for it, or find it on a scav or a player, you're probably in business. Now, you can get a P.A.K.A. from Ragman as well for somewhere around 28k. It is a level 2 armor, so this armor is pretty cheap. It's if you insure it, you're probably going to get it back on insurance. It doesn't cost a ton to repair. It's just like we talked about with the ammo earlier, the PS ammo for the 7.62, the PS ammo for the 5.45, the 8.55 ammo for the 5.56, like the 8Rs and the M4s. They're going to shred right through this, no problem. This isn't going to stop anything. Now, this will give you protection, especially if you're doing your beginning tasks, like running around trying to find scavs to kill. This will give you protection against most shotgun ammos, except for like AP slugs and a couple of others. And then pistol rounds for the most part, except for the higher tier pistol rounds. So basically, you're going to have some protection against scavs, because most scavs are on, like, say, customs, which is a map you play starting out, are going to be running around with Tazes or shotguns with buckshot, or grizzly slugs or something of that nature. So you're going to have some sort of protection against scavs. So in my opinion, if you have the money, it's worth taking, especially for doing tasks. If you're not really pushing fights against players and you're trying to be smart and avoid players, this will give you some protection against scavs. Now, this helmet to me is one of the best deals in the game. For only 21k, you can get the SSH 68. It's a level 3 armored helmet, but here's the kicker. Right here under ricochet chance, it's got a high ricochet chance. So you have a chance to ricochet even some of the highest pinning ammo in the game if they hit you in the head. And the armor areas are the top and the nape, so you have some protection, not only just the top of your head, the back area as well. So I can't tell you how many times this thing has saved me. It's not the best looking helmet in the game, but for the price and a low level, this thing will save your life. So if you can afford it, I know guys that run this when they're in level 50, late in wipe, they still run this helmet. So this is a great helmet from Ragman as well. Now, Ragman level 1, you can get the GSSH1 headset. It's not my favorite headset, but hearing in this game is everything. So, uh, if you can afford to take this headset into the raids with you, you definitely want to wear this. It's going to give you a hearing advantage. You're going to be able to hear footsteps from a little further. You're going to be able to hear scavs yapping from a little further and pretty much pinpoint where they are a little easier. So this is really going to give you an advantage. If you're really hurting for money, the first part of gear I would buy before I bought an armor or a helmet would be my ears, just so that I can hear. It's so important in this game. Now we can talk about the barter trade for this helmet, which is it's pretty much the same as this other helmet here. They both have a high ricochet chance, same armor class. This helmet starts with 25 durability, and the SSH 68 starts with 30. So that's just pretty much preference. You can also buy this bank robber rig from Ragman at level 1, and let's open it up so I can show you. It gives you 2 slots to put mags in. It's not huge, but it'll help you out if you're a low level. So let's move on. I think the last 2 traders we're going to talk about is Skier and Jaeger. We're not going to touch too much on Jaeger because he's not available right away, but we'll briefly go through the tasks really quick and what it takes to unlock Jaeger level 1, and you'll have an understanding of that before we get done with the video as well. So let's go Skier level 1. Now here, just a few things to talk about. You can, at level 1, you can buy, barter trade for 2 horse statues, and you can get the VPO 136, which is a single fire 7.62 AK. It's not full auto, and it uses the same as the SKS, the PS ammo that we talked about. So not really much else to say about that. This is pretty much going to be a real similar to using the SKS. It's just going to be it's a barter trade. You can't just buy it, so you actually have to find these items. But you could put a 30-round mag in it. You can't actually buy a 30-round mag for this from any trader at level 1, but they're relatively easy to find in raid. So if you can grab a few of those, this might be the route you want to take for your for your PS ammo for 7.62 rather. Now, also, this is one of the best barter trades for a weapon, in my opinion, in the game. You can use this rechargeable battery. I can't get it to open up because I don't have one in my inventory. But if you find one of these rechargeable batteries in raid, you can trade one of these for an 8R right here. And just like we talked about, you could remove this front sight by buying the gas block from Mechanic, and it already has a rail on top of the upper for you to mount a sight on top of it that you might find in raid. So this is really one of my go-tos, as well as the SKS when I first start out. This is great value. You can shoot the 8.55 ammo, which is pretty decent starting out, and this is a weapon that you can drop a lot of PMCs at a low level compared to what else is available to you. So from Skier as well, I think that's all I wanted to talk about for Skier. We'll move on to Jaeger briefly, level 1. Jaeger here, you can get a couple of shotguns from Jaeger. You can buy a scav vest from them. You can barter trade for an army bag for 1 soap, which this backpack is smaller than the MBSS. I would recommend trying to use the MBSS, but if you can't, you can get an army bag for 1 soap, and this is the space you get here. But there's not really a whole lot to talk about Jaeger level 1, except for once you do unlock them level 1, you can have access to this barter trade for the CMS kit for 3 nipper pliers that you need to find in raid. And you can also get this red dot, the Cobra red dot here for a barter trade of 2 bolts, which you can put on top of your 8R, and it will help get the job done. Okay, so really quickly, I want to talk about beginner tasks. Right when you start out, when you're a low level, you'll get this debut task from Prapper, which you have to kill 5 scavs on customs and find 2 MP133 shotguns to turn into them. Okay, now, and this unlocks the ability to purchase the AKS-74 that we talked about earlier in the video. So this is an important task you want to complete right away. Let's go over to Therapist. She gives you an introductory task called Shortage, and you need to turn in 5 Salewa kits. But by doing so, she gives you a bit of money, you get a little bit of trader rep, and you get some experience and some health items. I would recommend doing this because it leads to other tasks that we'll talk about in a later video. And also, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? What am I looking at here? I think it's down on the bottom, actually. Oh, bear with me. We're going to find it. There's a lot of them here. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Supplier. So supplier is a task you get pretty much right away. I don't remember if you have to level up to 4 or 5 or 6. But before 10, you will get access to this task, and all you have to do is you have to find 4 of the white 3M body armors, which are pretty easy to find on scavs, turn them into skier, and you need to find 4 Taj shotguns, which are the bolt action 20 gauge shotguns, and have those turned into skier as well. And you will unlock access to the Sega 9, and you will get a nice chunk of rubles for that and some trader rep and experience. Now, let's talk about how to unlock Jaeger, and we will... where's it at here? We'll go over to Peacekeeper here, and it is... where's it at? Is it the guide? No, it is... Oh, I'm sorry. It's not Peacekeeper. I'm having a brain fart. It's Mechanic. It is Introduction. So before you reach level 10, you'll have access to the task Introduction that you can find from Mechanic. And he asks you to find Jaeger's camp, which is on Woods. There's a message underneath his camp when you find it, and you need to hand this message over to Mechanic. Now, once you complete this task, you'll have access to Jaeger. And I don't know if there's a follow-up task, but you follow that quest line and you'll eventually unlock Jaeger level 1, and then you'll have access to the items here. So again, just to go over everything we talked about, Prapper, level 1, PS ammo, SKS, really good choice to start out and cheap. Therapist for your meds. Make sure you can stop heavy bleeds. They will kill you in raid if you do not have a way to stop them. And we talked about our gear here from Ragman. And don't forget about your gas block here for your 8R, and the trade for the VOG 17 here, and the 8R barter trade from Skier as well. All right, guys. Well, I hope this helped you out. Don't forget about TarkovArmory.com if you have questions or you need to look up any information about ammo and how it performs against certain armors. And I hope this helped you out, and stay tuned for more videos. Enjoy.